Hello everybody, it's Matt here from Team GHQ with this, a Future Card Buddyfight Deck profile. It is of course my hero world and it is Kaizerion. Now I've not done a profile on Kaizerion in absolute ages and there has been some support, so I thought I'd go through with it. Anyway, size zeros. First up we've got Ocean Deity /Shark and the effect is you can put this from hand on the field into the soul of a card you are ride on, and then while it's in the soul of the card that you've ridden on, it gains plus 1000 power, plus 1000 defense. Next card up is 3 copies of Sabird, which of course you know the effect to put it in soul. When it's in the soul, pay a gauge if you're 6 life or less and the card gains double attack. Okay, but it has to be a card you're ride on for that one. So that's the size zeros. We're into the size 1. Beast Deity Tiger Frost. When it's in the soul of a card you're ride on, that card gains penetrate. So, plus 1000 power, plus 1000 defense for /Shark, double attack for Sabird if you're 6 life or less, and Tiger Frost gives the card penetrate. Size 2, and I'm only running 2 of this, and it's the brand new one, which goes into the new size 3 Kaizerion, which I'll explain in a minute. Beast Deity Hessian. Its counter is Counteract. Choose a card you'll ride on your field and put this card from the field into the chosen card's soul, and you may pay a gauge. If you do, you may ride a card with ride and with Kaizerion in its card name on top without paying its ride cost. So essentially you keep the soul. You keep the soul of the card you ride, so if you got Kaizerion at 3 soul, counter. So attack with that, then counter timing, put in soul, pay a gauge, call into the new Kaizerion. Without paying ride costs, it gets all the soul cards. And it rides standing, so yeah. You could attack with the new Kaizerion as well. And the card that you're riding on with this card in soul gains counter attack. So sure, if near inflict damage, counter attack. Boop. Anyway, size 3s, and we're going to start with the new Kaizerion. Super Sword Deity King Kaizerion. Now this card is fun. 10,000 power, 4 critical, 7,000 defense. Its core cost is put this card on top of a brain machine, monster on your field, pay 2 gauge. If this card has 3 or more souls, it cannot be rested, and its attack cannot be nullified if it is attacking alone by your opponent's card effects. Souls in this card cannot be put into the drop zone by opponent's card effects. Soul Guard. And ride is put this card on top of a card you're ride on, pay 2 gauge. So go into this, and if you have 3 or more soul, it can't be rested by opponent's card effects, and if it's attacking alone, the attack can't be nullified by card effects, and souls can't be destroyed. Fun little card. I like it. Anyway, another size 3, we have 3 of these, is Evil Sword Deity Dark Kaizerion. Core cost is pay 2 gauge. Counteract, during your turn, you may put a soul from a card you ride on. Oh no, put a soul from a card on the field into the drop zone if you do stand it. So even if you have a soul in him, or if you ride on something with soul, you can go anywhere with this soul and restand him. Soul Guard and ride, put the top card of your deck into this card's soul and pay 2 gauge. Also the counter abilities once a turn. And then of course, finally for the monsters, we have my buddy, of course, Great Sword Deity Kaizerion. Core cost, pay 2 gauge. When this card enters the field or ride, put to 1 brain machine from your drop zone into this card's soul. If there are 3 more cards in the soul, gains a critical. Soul Guard, ride, pay 2 gauge. Pretty much the bases. Pretty much just all bases of it, really. Now for spells, 4 copies of I've Seen Through Your Moves, your standard Nullify. 4 copies of Body of Steel because, yeah, it says choose a Brave Machine in battle. Doesn't specify monsters, so your item can get 5k defense and counter attack. Fun. Body of Steel. 4 copies of Cold Super Machine, including one of the Kaizerion art. Love the art, by the way. Love the Kaizerion art, by the way. So awesome. Cold Super Machine searches for any Brave Machine, which can include, because it's got the Brave Machine attribute. So 4 of Cold Super Machine, 3 Hyper Energies, gauge 4. Enough said. 3, it's about time I get serious. Can all cast this card if you have 6 life or less. Pay a gauge, draw 2. Can all be used once a turn. 3 copies of Super Headquarters Brave Fort. When you call a monster or you ride onto a card, gauge 1, and then if your life will be reduced to 0, you may put a card you'll ride on, destroy a card you'll ride on. If you do, your life becomes 1 and destroy this card, and you can only set 1 of them. So essentially, sure, I'll destroy Soul God. Okay, next, 2 copies of 100,000 Years Too Early, the new Nullify we got in Level Up Heroes and Adventurers, the rare, which is, you can only cast this if you are being attacked. Nullify the attack and choose, and for this turn, an iron on your field gains defense plus 1,000. Fun! And then 2 copies of I Won't Let You. I can only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn, and if you are transformed into or ride on a card. Pay a gauge, null the attack. This card can't be nullified. And last spell, last 2 spells is I Leave the Rest to You. Can only cast it if you ride on a card. Pay a life and destroy. Put a card you are ride on from your field into the drop zone. Again, Soul God. And counter speed, destroy a card on your opponent's field. So that spells. Lastly, 2 impacts. It's obviously going to be, of course, Brave Energy Full Drive. Can only cast it. You may only cast this card if you're right on a card and your opponent's life has 5 life or less. Pay 2 gauge. Deal 2 damage, and then deal damage equal to number of cards in Soul. The damage dealt by this card cannot be reduced. It's a great way to end it. Anyway, that has been my deck profile for Kaizerion. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. Check out our Facebook page, the Team GHQ page, our Twitter at Team GHQ YouTube, and our website, link in the description. And as always, happy gaming.